Hi everyone, welcome back to the Integrity Botanicals YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk about the W3ll People powders. You guys ask me about them a lot. I use them a lot. I sort of wanted to differentiate them, help you sort of choose which one might be the right one for you and sort of what you're looking for, pros and cons of each. You know the drill. So let's just briefly start off with the two types of powders that we have. I do have the Bio-Brightener Invisible Powder, and then we have the Realist Invisible Setting Powder. Now both of these are packaged the exact same. They have recently gone under some repackaging. This is the new packaging I am showing you here. Definitely an upgrade. Looks a lot more chic. This is the old packaging right here. I'm almost done with my setting powder, so I'm using that up. It was just the white, had just an open sifter, so you would lose quite a bit of powder. Now we are in this beautiful sort of silver cap, which is on brand with the W3ll People packaging. All of their stuff has this sort of silver, the white font, and then we turn it around. We have the same sticker in the back that tells you exactly what it is. So if you do have both of these powders, you don't have to worry about them getting mixed up. And then we open it right up. They now have a locking sifter, which when they don't have a locking sifter when you're at your house, it's okay. You really notice a difference though when you are traveling and then the powder is just spilling out of the sides and then the cap just screws back on like so. Really chic, and we are getting how much in here? We are getting 0.21 ounces, which is 6 grams of product, which is a ton, and that is the same for both of them, and they do both retail for $22, and both of them are in a universal translucent clear shade, just so you guys know. So let's start off with the Bio-Brightener Invisible Powder. I do also sort of want to show you guys, I'm at least going to attempt to try on camera to see if we can pick up the differences. I'll zoom in nice and tight right there at the end so I can show you guys sort of what I mean. If not, I'm just going to explain it to you. I'm very familiar with both. I love them both, like I said, for different reasons. So again, both the powders, they're gluten-free, they're cruelty-free, and they are non-comedogenic, so you don't have to worry about that at all. They're 22 bucks, 6 grams of product, and the Bio-Brightener one. Now, I love this one. This is for my dry skin girls. This is for my girls with mature skin. This is for my girls who don't really like a powdery look to the skin or a matte look to the skin at all. This is my go-to. I love this one. Like the name suggests, it does have freshwater pearls in it, so it sort of gives a luminous finish to the skin, still blurs imperfections, still locks things into place, but it's meant to blur, soften, and brighten. Now, I wouldn't say it has an active luminosity to it. There's no shimmer in the powder at all, but the finish that it gives is like satin, so it doesn't give a super matte finish. You won't see it just absorb every single oil away from your face, anything like that. It's a really natural, skin-like, soft finish. I'll sort of just hit the under eyes with this and the T-zone. I'm not really oily there, so I don't really have to worry about that. If you are super oily, I think you're gonna need something a little bit more heavy duty, at least in the more oily areas of your skin, and then you could set the rest of the area with this. This is really nice to completely set the skin with before you do the rest of your makeup, because if we have a light dusting of powder that's sort of, it almost feels like silicone, these powders, but they have no silicone in them at all. Just what I mean is they're very silky to the touch. That will sort of glide onto the skin and will help any makeup on top of it sort of blends. If you have a problem with blotchiness with bronzer, maybe set the powder. And the biggest thing that I can recommend you guys to do with both these powders is actually set the under eyes. Now, a lot of times our bottom mascara can transfer because we are not setting the under eyes. Huge, huge mistake, and a really, really easy fix. So that is sort of that's the Bio-Brightener sort of in a nutshell. Blurs, softens, sort of a more satin luminous finish, and it's just not as impenetrable as the Realist setting powder. Good for dry skin girls, good for my more mature skin girls, because we don't want the powder really settling in the fine lines. And when it's a little bit more of a heavy duty powder, I actually don't love to use this under the eyes unless unless what I'm using has a, like I like to use it with the W3ll People concealer actually, but with other concealers that I use, I don't love it as much because sometimes it can really settle in the lines. The Bio-Brightener is also good to do a bake under the eyes if you guys are familiar with that technique. But the difference with this one is that this is a full-blown matte finish, has a lot more silica to it, it feels, so it gives that much more slip to the skin, mattifies it a hell of a lot more, and it is also very, very weightless to the skin, and because of that really silky smooth texture, it minimizes the pores. So if you have oily skin, I really think you're gonna like this one. Again, it's a little bit more impenetrable, a little bit more silky, a little bit more soft. It does also have a little bit of aloe in there, so it helps soothe the skin. So oftentimes problematic skin and oil go hand in hand because excess oil production can cause acne on the skin, as we all know, but this can help minimize the pores because, again, if we produce a lot of oil, sometimes the pores in this area are really big, and I do notice a big difference with the pores, and I notice that this immediately takes away the shine on my face. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to mist my face with a little bit of the Botanicals mist. I'm going to get sort of a dewy look going. I haven't set any of my concealer or anything like that, so it still has a little bit of tack to it as well. And I'm going to zoom in and see if you guys can pick up on these subtle differences between the two and sort of see what I am talking about. Alright you guys, so we are in nice and tight to my face. You can see I have quite the glow going on. I do have some highlighter on, but all in the center of my face is not where I want the shine. So this is also a good sort of where to powder without looking flat and matte video as well. So I'm going to start off with the Bio-Brightener powder. I'm going to use that on this side of my face, and I just sort of want you guys to see the difference. Number one, you can definitely tell the texture in the powders are different. It's not thick by any means, but it's thicker and has softness to it, but not the same way the Realist does, just so you guys can see that up close. So I like to just knock a little into the lid, or just take a little, and I'm just going to swirl the brush around like this. Today I'm using the Delium Tools 942. I use this for blush a lot, but I like it just because it has that that angle to it. You can get it right underneath the eye. So I'm going to use this on this half of my face here. I don't put on too much product. I'm just going to do a little bit of this. So you can see it's taken away the shine, but it hasn't made me look flat at all. That still just looks like my skin. It just looks like my skin before I produce a lot of oil. In a few hours, I would naturally produce oil again, and it would sort of shine through, and then I could just top up with this. But that is sort of the look of this powder. I hope you guys can tell on camera. If not, just take my word for it, I promise. Alright, so you can see the texture of this powder. Do you see how much more finely milled that is? I mean, here's some at the edge here. It just doesn't look quite as thick. You can see when I pick it up. Oh, let's focus. There we go. And you can see when I'm slipping it back and forth to my fingers. It's just a lot thinner, but in turn minimizes the pores and all of that. So I'm going to take this on. I'm going to just sort of wipe off as much as I can. And I'm going to dip a little bit in here. Same amount, nothing crazy. Swirl it in the lid just to really work it into the bristles. And here, let me try to get as close as I can. All right. So I don't know if you guys can see it. I personally can. So I know it's really subtle. They're both just translucent powders. It's sort of hard to tell. This is just full-blown matte. I wish you could touch my skin. This feels like just foundation. This feels like I have a film on my face in a good way, in a very smooth, thin way. They both feel weightless on the skin. I can't feel them. But this just gave it a more flat, super matte finish. This sort of still looks like my natural just texture of my skin. If you guys know what I'm saying, I hope this up close sort of clarified some things. If not, I explained them to you, and I will answer any questions in the description box down below. All right, you guys, that is it. That is my completed little W3ll People powder video. I hope this cleared a couple things up for you. I know it's a lot harder of a product to demo, but I hope the explanation really helped. And of course, as always, if you have any questions, please leave me a comment down below. I would love to get back to you, help you make a good choice on what's good for you. As far as natural powders go, I think they're some of the best on the market. I think the price is really great. great as well. And the nice locking sifter I very much appreciate. But again, any questions down below. I'll have ingredients for both down below as well as the product links, so don't forget to check that out. And don't forget, I always have our social media down there in the description box as well. So you guys feel free to follow us on any platform you would like. We would really appreciate it. But until then, please do give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe. I upload new videos here every single Monday and Friday. If there's any other comparison videos you want, let me know. More than happy to bring them to you guys. I know there's some subtle differences, but they really do make a difference on finding a product that works best for you. And I am here to do all the guinea pig work, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.